17. Thank you for tuning in and logging on, and welcome to Truth It in the AM. It is your boy Truth It here to address any and all things when it's time to, and it's time to. And by my side, I have the one, the only, too real to be phony. Trooper Joe is in the building. Troop.
I'm here in the building. I want to wish everybody a what? Thank you. That's nice. Thank you. Yeah, I hope everybody in the Northeast has weathered the storm and they're all nice and warm now and getting ready for the next go round of weather and stuff and be safe. And today, for all you people out there who think that you mastered snow driving, this is going to be ice. So it's a second different challenge.
Yep.
You don't drive the same way on ice that you do in snow because it doesn't matter on ice. Nobody drives on ice.
Troop, I get tired. I get really annoyed when we have snow in New England because people act like it's an emergency. People they buy everything off the store shelves like it's going to be the apocalypse. And we get 2 inches of snow.
Yeah, I got 8.
Oh, you did get 8?
Yeah.
Oh, we only got about 3 to 5. We didn't get that much snow at all. And, but you would think that we got all the snow in the world.
Yeah.
But we didn't. And people, they drive crazy.
That's all I get.
I don't know. It's like we get speed demons. People just want to swerve and drive and go nuts in the snow when they get behind the wheels of their cars. I don't understand it at all.
I don't either. And then I don't understand the cowboys out there with the big plows.
Yep.
What's up with that? I guess that's your machismo thing right there. Got the big plows.
Yep.
Making snowmen.
It's crazy, Troop. It's crazy the way that they, when they're driving, the way that they're behaving. But hey, it is what it is. But we got some stuff we need to talk about today. First off, I would like to talk about Keaton Jones. Because when I watched the video of this little boy trying to rationalize bullying, I got really sad.
You got sad?
I was really sad. It made me almost tear up a little bit. It made me want to beat up the kids that was bullying him.
Yeah, it made me want to just slap them.
Yeah, it made me want to slap the kids that were bullying him.
Their parents.
And yep, their parents too.
And the teachers.
Yep, everybody who was allowing it to go on. Yep.
Principal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody who was involved.
Monitor.
Yep.
I was like, come on.
Lunch lady.
The lunch lady.
Anybody, yep. Anybody involved, I wanted their heads on a stake.
Yeah, the mailman who delivers the mail. Anybody, it doesn't matter. Who's close to this situation, and you allowed this to keep going. Not just him, but anybody.
Yep.
That's you need to be stoned.
But then we find out that his mother is a Confederate supporter. Pictures of her holding the Confederate flag, and she was one of those people that said you got to stand for the national anthem, and I don't care. Like, she made some really borderline racist comments.
Well,
she even told someone, I thought us whites were supposed to stick together.
She could do that. Me, I really don't care about all that stuff like that. It's like, hey, she's from Tennessee. At the home of the Ku Klux Klan. She grew up around that stuff. So if her understanding of the way life should be is like that, that's fine. Who cares, really?
Well, I know one thing. I wouldn't have sympathy for no boy if I found out that he was a racist, and you know, if his mother thinks like that, she influences her kids, so he probably thinks like that to an extent too.
He may, but I have a problem with bullying in itself.
Okay.
You know, the incident that occurred here, that's the incident. Everybody's going to jump on the incident, look at the incident and stuff. You know, but there's kids getting bullied all over the place in school.
Yeah.
And out of school, in school. And I have a real problem with bullies. I always had a problem with bullies. Mm-hmm. I was kind of bullied myself.
Yeah, I think everybody experienced it to a smaller or a lesser degree.
Yeah.
But, the thing that's going on is some kids are so stressed out from being bullied that they're committing suicide.
Well, this I have a real problem with. The society that's allowing kids that's not paying enough attention to ask the kid, what's up? What's the problem? What's going on? Are you all right? Is there anything we can do to help you and stuff like this here? You know, I mean, they're not addressing the bullying when it's happening. They're responding to the bullying after the fact. And, that's not good.
I think I think one of the problems is that since I've had to deal with bullying when I was younger, if my son came and told me, "Oh, I'm being bullied," I wouldn't take it as serious because I'd say, "You know what? I was bullied when I was younger and I survived. He'll survive too." And then you kind of become dismissive of it, and that's when kids end up committing suicide.
Yeah, this because we didn't pay attention to the change in the cultural norm for kids. Kids are wimpy now. They look for their parents are looking for suicide too. I saw some article. The 4 ways to identify depression. Come on. Why don't you just give everybody a depression card and stuff and see if you can find something? I'll put about 100 on there and you find the one you want and then you can go and be depressed.
Right.
And then you can go get your little suicide packet from the doctor.
Yeah. But
bullying needs to be addressed in a big way. Nobody should be having to be living in fear. Nobody at all. But we become complacent to it. But in school, y'all standing around trying to teach kids not education, not reading and writing. You're trying to teach them social skills. You're trying to teach them how to interact in some society and stuff. And then this kind of bullying gets unnoticed. Who's the phony people there? You know?
Yep.
That's the part that really makes me mad. It's like that's your job as a human being to identify these type of things that happen. You see somebody getting bullied and stuff, you have an obligation to say, hey, cut that out.
Yep.
Hey, come here, let me talk to you. There's consequences for your actions of bullying these people. I mean, if you don't do that, then you're wrong.
Right.
Especially when it's under your nose. This didn't take place like after school.
Nope, it took place during school.
In the lunch.
The kid said that someone poured milk all over him, and I'm like, if that was my child, I'd be at school looking for somebody.
Exactly. It's like that. This is different than getting chased home from the bully. That's different. There's no real eyes watching you, and the bullies should like cockroaches. They come out at night and chase you.
Yep.
Big cockroach.
Right. I still am not sure how I feel about him now that I found out that his mother is a Confederate. How do we know he wasn't going to school talking about stand for the flag or anything like that? And then they started bullying him.
Have no idea what his makeup is like, nor the people in that school.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't matter. There shouldn't be no place for bullying to take place. I mean, the teacher should interject. How you going to teach reading and writing and arithmetic if you can't even stop people from bullying?
Right.
You can't teach it. You spend all your time teaching social interactions and skills. And where's the guidance counselor in these things? What happened to the guidance counselors in school? Don't they work anymore? What's their job?
Right. I don't like the fact that bullying in 2017 can still be facilitated, but you can't watch every single move or every interaction between 30 kids per one person.
So you can.
There's hundreds of kids in a lunchroom at a time sometimes. You can't zone in on every single kid to make sure no bullying's going on.
If this is your class sitting over here in the lunchroom or however it is, the lunchroom, they should have lunch monitors just standing around.
Yep.
Taking care of things, keeping an eye out for stuff. And you see bullying going in, and not even that. I ain't even gonna play that old game like this here.
Right.
In this day and age, we got baby cameras that you put in your baby's room to see what your baby's doing.
Yep.
No excuse.
With milk, when milk is being poured on a child, someone should have gotten suspended or fired for it.
Exactly.
But the problem is that a lot of people are feeling bad for this kid. So, for example, the UFC. Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah.
They, the owner, one of the CEOs of it, Dana White, invited this kid to come out to watch a free show. Then they started the GoFundMe, and they raised $60,000 for the kid.
Yeah.
So everyone's feeling bad for him. But then, while everyone's feeling bad for him, find out I can't listen. True, I can't get over the fact that his mother, that his mother. When you have parents that, so for example, would you feel bad if it was Charles Manson's child?
Charlie Manson.
Yep. If it was the child of Charles Manson being bullied, would you feel bad?
Yeah, actually, I would. Like I said, I'm not feeling bad for the child alone.
Right.
I'm feeling bad for the system. There should not be a system of bullying involved in schools. Schools should have been by this time eradicated that system of bullying. It's like obviously that they're not paying enough attention to it. There should have been some way to monitor it, especially inside the structure itself.
Yep.
It's harder to monitor, meet me after school and stuff. We're going to have a fight, chasing the kid home from there and everything like that. But inside, they might get the little prankish stuff in the boys' room while the kids at the urinal and they push him so that it looks like he peed his pants.
Mm-hmm.
He does that. I mean, these are the little boy pranks and stuff like that. Is that bullying in a sense? Yeah, but it's just a prank because they usually do it to their friends.
Yep.
Yeah. But that kind of bullying, pouring milk on people, all those things like that. That shouldn't happen.
Well, the mother, they put food down his thing. They put food in his clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And, they poured the milk on him, and then they were bullying him. And he was trying to rationalize why. You're right. Even if the mother is a complete racist pig, the child doesn't deserve that type of treatment in school where it should be a bully-free zone.
Exactly.
So, asked whose idea to make the video, Keaton said it was mine. So the child said it was the idea. Because I did kind of wonder, why did the mother record her child what was the purpose of making the video?
Mm-hmm.
But the kid said it was his. Keaton, who says he was targeted by 5 fellow middle schoolers, said he never complained to a teacher for fear that the bullies would for sure attack. He became more and more agitated and didn't want to go back to school, said Keaton mother Kimberly Jones. Jones was behind the camera and posted the video to her Facebook. So now this kid is being interviewed on ABC, CBS. He's now a national star. The video went viral, as it should have, and I hope it does awaken more people to the dangers of bullying, but still, you have to, sometimes the child pays the price for the parents' foolishness.
I don't know, the woman, fine, like, if you want to be a Confederate supporter and stuff, go ahead, If you want to sit around with a whole bunch of other people and go to a pig roast and talk about other people's culture and stuff like that, and that's the only source of interaction you have with life, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I think that those type of heavy reaction to her with Confederate flags and stuff, I don't even know what she looked like. Does she scare people with her face?
The mother?
Yeah.
She looks like middle-aged. She looks like she's in her 40s, about a 40-year-old blonde white woman with blue eyes.
Okay.
Yep. She's not ugly, she looks, I don't know if there's a racist look, but if there was a racist look, she would fit the bill.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, because, like I say, I'm against racism. A whole lot more than just against racism to exist. I think it's time for racism to die on all fronts.
Yep.
I think that we become so immune to the actual racism itself that we look for incidences just to feed into the racism. I think that society has created this saying of white privilege that doesn't exist, doesn't have any meat to it, has no merit to it. It's not something that you really can't define without using certain specific examples to make your argument. So
Yep.
that means it doesn't exist. There's no definition to it. I think this is what we've done with racism, and with this here. The woman wants to be a Confederate supporter. Go ahead. Because this is America. We need to really be Americans. There how many races? Who cares if you're Confederate supporter? You can hang around with your little Confederate supporter friends, and you can talk all kinds of nonsense and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not listening.
Right.
It doesn't make any difference. It has no place in my life. So it doesn't matter. And people who just want to find incidences to feed into so that they can have their lifestyle the way they want it and call it racist or call it anything like that, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't see it. I don't see it. If you can just identify who you are and then go on up and do something that's going to improve your life and make you happy, and then that's a good thing.
Yep.
If this is what she identified who she is,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what she want to do, it's like, okay, that makes you happy. That's a good thing for you, but you're a sheep. You're just following behind the herd of people in a bunch of quotes and sayings. Just like the people on this side who want to just follow behind this group of people and follow their words they're saying. Where's the change?
Right.
Where's the thing that ends this cycle like this here? That's the part that's not in there. That's the part that I'm looking for. We can end racism. If you want to be Confederate supporter, go on. But if your son's getting bullied and stuff like that in school, you should have acted yourself, not just on a videotape and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a little bit more aggressive like that, talking to your kid, going up into the school, taking time out of your busy life like that to go down and with the principal and saying this stuff is unacceptable, we can't handle this, we don't want this type of stuff like this has to change. And the school should have been investigated, and you should have took the energy to do that. You left it on your side.
Well, the school has replied to the video, and they've said that they do not tolerate bullying on any level. However, the mother has come out and said that not only was Keaton bullied by 5 kids in the school, he was also spoke down upon by teachers. Teachers also kind of bullied him and messed with him and everything. So, I mean, there's a lot. We'll have to wait. Time will tell what really happened with Keaton in the school. But I'm sure I'm sure he did face some sort of problems in school with the teachers.
And here's the thing too. Now, what did the school say?
That they do not tolerate bullying at all on any level.
And it's like, okay, which part of that lie do you really think that I'm going to accept? To tolerate any bullying on any level. The kid was bullied in your cafeteria.
Right. The United States doesn't tolerate murder, but murder still happens.
Yeah, it's like, this is our society. Okay, we said these nice little words and stuff, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and it was in front of your face and you did nothing. Obviously, you tolerated it.
Yep.
So your word's lost. You have no credibility.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be stoned. Your school needs to be stand accountable for its actions in bullying. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
That make-believe excuse and stuff doesn't fly. You're lucky I'm not in charge. You'd be stoned. I am up against the wall.
All right. So we'll have to wait and see what else happens with Keaton Jones, and we'll talk about more about it. Yeah. I'm sure as we move forward with this whole bullying situation. But there's also an issue of the mother trying to get funds, and the mother's being accused of being a really bad person. And if you are a Confederate supporter, I tend to believe that you are not a good person. But we'll figure out later on what happens with that.
Yeah, I don't think just because I heard the fact about her that she's not a very good person.
Yeah.
Now that's different than being a Confederate supporter.
To me, it's the same.
Okay, so, but But to me, it's like that's different. If you're not a very good person and everything, now you're a gold digger. Now you're trying to take advantage of a situation to get you some money and some publicity and stuff like that. You're wrong. You're just as guilty as the bullies, cause you and as the school, because you did nothing, and you're trying to profit from this type of thing, and that makes you wrong.
Right.
Not because you're a Confederate supporter. That makes you a Confederate supporter. You know, that makes you in my world an irrelevancy. I don't care. You know, but if you're wrong and you're taking advantage of things like that, and you're using your child to make use of money, then you just no good.
Right.
Yeah, you're not a good person. And that's the thing too. There are people that are not good people. They may look good, they may smell good, they may talk good, but they're not good people.
And sometimes their kids pay the price for them not being good people.
Exactly.
Well, all right, let's moving on. We have another issue going on in New York, another terror attack. There was a bomb. A bomber strikes near Times Square, disrupting the city, but killing no one.
Yeah.
This man, I guess, claims that he's his unity to ISIS, but he never really did anything. I guess there's no real links or ties to ISIS.
No.
But a would-be suicide attacker detonated a pipe bomb strapped to his body in the heart of Manhattan's busy subway corridor on Monday, sending thousands of terrified commuters fleeing the smoke-choked passageways and bringing the heart of Midtown to a standstill as hundreds of police officers converged on Times Square and the surrounding streets.
Yeah. So he really did do something.
Yep.
He brought the city to a standstill. You see, he reached into the pockets of a lot of people and took out their hard-earned dollars and stuff like that. You know, and he brought fear into some people's hearts. Maybe 1, maybe 10, maybe 100.
Yeah.
That won't be going out there in large crowded areas and stuff like that, but because of fear. Homegrown terrorists like that, he's not homegrown. He comes from Bangladesh, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so he's from another place. So, but these type of terrorists, they're just as dangerous as somebody that is sophisticated enough to bring down a building.
So you think mission accomplished? You think he did his job?
I think that from a mission standpoint, that would be a mission accomplished if his mission was to bring about fear within New York and other parts of the state, and to put a crimp in the monies and stuff. They got to pay those police.
Yep.
They got to, the rapid transit system. You know, it went to a standstill. That affected all them people going out to their jobs and all these people like that. They showed up late and everything. There was a lot of economic recourse that happened because of that situation.
Yep.
People that were afraid, they didn't probably go out shopping that day. Say, I ain't going in there. You don't know, they're probably going to have a follow-up or something like that. Say, I'm not going. You know, so there's a lot of things that happened with that thing. Because terrorism just isn't about killing people.
Nope.
It's about destroying the infrastructure of a society and stuff, and that's what ISIS wants to do. ISIS doesn't really want to just kill people by numbers. That's an American thing.
Right. Right.
That's what we want. We want a body count beat on our chest. Oh yeah, we killed 10, we killed 20. Did you see the way we killed that guy over there? I remember I had a friend, Wilson. He carried a 60 machine gun and stuff. I don't know why he carried a 60. It's heavy. We only go out with 4-man teams. He got too big. We go pick whatever weapon you want. I'm 60. But he liked it because he said he could shoot him at the top and then spin this thing around and watch him flip. Is he sick?
Yes.
Good guy. Crazy as he ought to be. But that's what, and he wanted to carry that big old heavy machine gun in there. Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, but that's an American thing. ISIS, they wanna institute their own way of thinking about their societal norms and stuff. It doesn't gel with the rest of the world.
Well, this is the third attack since September 2016,
Yeah.
and the second in 2 months, coming only weeks after 8 people were killed in a truck attack. I remember that one
Yeah.
where he drove along the bike path and killed 8 people, and then got out with a air pistol, not even a real gun,
Yeah.
yelling "Allahu Akbar." I don't.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. It's getting worse. It's getting worse, but the attacks are becoming weakened.
Yeah, and then they become weak till the strong one throws up.
Yep.
You know, and then when the big one comes, everybody's oh no, like, and we become complacent too. Like the guy shoot, we justified the guy in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now how many people did he shoot up and just
50 something.
Yeah, but then we justified that because he wasn't from a Middle Eastern country or something like that, and he wasn't connected to ISIS. He had some kind of mental disorder and stuff. But look at all the dead people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care.
Right.
They dead. All
Yeah.
these other people that's wounded and stuff like this, they don't care. That's still a terrorist attack. Do people really, want to go to crowded outdoor activities now? Not some might, some won't.
Right. After he was subdued, Akayed-Ullah was taken to Bellevue Hospital Center, where he was in serious condition with burns to his hands and abdomen, according to Daniel A. Negro, the commissioner of the New York Fire Department. 3 other people had minor injuries. An immigrant from Bangladesh, Mr. Ullah, came to live in Brooklyn through a visa program available to people who have relatives who are United States citizens. Cue Donald Trump to put an end to that.
Donald Trump.
Yep. On Monday afternoon, in his first remarks on the attack, President Trump assailed the current immigration system that allows for extended family members and not just spouses or minor children to receive green cards. The terrible harm that this flawed system inflicts on America's security and economy has long been clear, Mr. Trump said in a statement. I am determined to improve our immigration system to put our country and our people first. Donald Trump is on the way.
He totally on the way because we allowed these things to get out of control for not 5 years back, 10 years back, 20 years back. It's been forever.
But Trick, there's nothing you can do to stop these kind of attacks, even if you did create that visa program.
There's not, but there's some people who would think, yeah, this is a good way to go and everything, and Donald Trump is talking exactly what we need. A lot of people out there are like that.
Yep.
They're just going to be just like that. It's like, this is our country and all this. No,
Yep.
you're an immigrant. But y'all immigrants.
He was wearing a hoodie, and there's videos of it all over on the internet of him walking, and then all of a sudden you see the explosion, and he's the only one that falls. New Yorkers are savage, because the New Yorkers, they just kept walking. They didn't care. They kept walking by. They didn't stop to check on them or nothing. He just stood there, and then some of them took off. Some of the people were smart. They ran. They took off. But he was on his own when after that explosion happened.
Oh, I love to hear the sounding of it because the innate fear is triggered at I think it's 90 decibels or something like that. I was wondering if his bomb hit that mark, and that's why the people didn't respond first.
Yep.
Because if it did, the response of fear, how do you respond to fear and stuff?
Yep.
I'm just looking at it as neurological sense. I know I shouldn't do that. But, oh well.
Well, the officers went into the situation blind, only becoming aware of the dangers involved once they confronted the suspect. He had wires going from his shirt down into his pants, and he was still conscious when they arrived to him. He's in a hospital now in serious condition. They think that he's going to make it.
Hey, make him go to jail for the rest of his natural.
Yep.
And he should go to jail, and he should get some help too. And even if he gets himself in a better place mentally and stuff, that don't mean you get out. Terrorism is something that we really don't understand.
Yep.
We got a lot of these make-believe professionals around here that understand terror. Like, you don't understand terrorism. The only thing you ever seen dead was a piece of steak in a frying pan. You know, it's like you don't understand that a lot of people, I believe, in these terrorist things. You never even been outside of the United States. You don't even know what people go through in other countries. What, not just the evils that they go through, but the good things that they go through. What makes them. Why would somebody really want to be in ISIS? You know,
Yep.
that's the question.
Yep.
What not how, you know, the other question on the other side is how do we destroy ISIS? That's what we look at. But why would somebody want to be in ISIS in the first place when you know the probability of getting the call to go blow yourself up is going to be high? What makes somebody want to be in that type of situation? And if we try to turn it around and look at ourselves in here, we got, just like with the racism, we got a lot of racism, but I don't know anybody that's going to go out there and blow themselves up about it.
Well,
Tell me what.
why people would want to join ISIS when the job is dire and you could lose your life doing it? I think the answer is the same reason why some people would join the American military. Remember, people over there on that side of the world, we always look at things in America, we look at them through these glasses of we're the good guys, we're good, they're evil. You go to the other side of the world, we're evil.
Oh, yeah,
they're the good guys.
Oh, yeah,
we bomb children. We bomb them. So when you see, would I want to join ISIS and kill myself? No. But if I saw my children being blown up in airstrikes from this monstrous country of evil grown European men, would I would maybe want to join to combat them and stop them from their world of terror, because to them we're the terrorists.
Exactly, we are the terrorists to them. We're the ones dropping bombs all over their houses. Ain't nobody dropping a bomb on here.
Right. So,
Yeah.
and then when they did, what did we want to do? We wanted to destroy. Yep, we wanted to turn the Middle East into a parking lot.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing when, when on 9/11, when the Twin Towers got hit and those thousands of people died. Many more people, I'm assuming, have been killed in airstrikes in Syria and Iran and Iraq, all over the Middle East.
Right down in Gaza.
Yep. So
yeah, that's the question. You know, you look at it and you can say that, but is that the reason why they're joining?
Yeah.
You don't know. That's one of the reasons. That may be the reason. Or is it just that their cultural way of life, that they feel as though they have an obligation to Allah, their God, and stuff like that, to combat the infidels. You know, this might be something innately taught to them since they were little kids, and they feel as though they have a responsibility to do this here. That could be a reason, but this is where you gotta find what makes them want to go out there and do this thing like this.
we stick our nose in business that is not our business.
Oh,
that's what it is. Yeah.
We do that all the time. And then, you know, I don't understand myself personally why we're increasing the size of our military. Our military doesn't do much unless we're fighting a war.
Right.
You know, we're trying to keep the war in Afghanistan going so we can justify the fact that we're still fighting a war. And we're trying to keep some kind of police presence over in Iraq and Iran and all the Middle East like that to justify that we're fighting a war.
Yeah.
And with ISIS and Syria, you know, and we're trying to do that. And at the same time, all we're doing is building up the military.
Yep.
We're building up a military which at this point in time should have been scaling back. You know, it's like, yeah, you're training to fight a war all day long, but there's no place for you to go fight.
Yep. And you know what happens when that stuff occurs? Yeah, that means that the government knows something that we might not know.
That's a total possibility. You know, or it generates a lot more money and stuff. Well, yeah, we got nuclear weapons, but, you know, we really can't use nuclear weapons as a deterrent to any kind of world domination by another country because they know the possibility of us using a nuclear weapon is slim.
Mm-hmm.
So we better increase our air power, and we better increase our weaponry and stuff. So there's a huge conglomerate of people over here making huge money.
Mm-hmm.
Huge money, big money on all kinds of weaponry and stuff like this here. And then they make little money by saying, yeah, well, we might as well just throw in the teas and let everybody talk about the Second Amendment because we can sell some of these other weapons that are no longer this powerful to be used in a war and stuff in their military to the civilians.
Mm-hmm.
So they're making all kinds of money and stuff over there like that. And it's not being used.
Yep.
We got airplanes that ain't never going to drop a bomb on somebody in a hostile environment.
Well, so we think.
Well, I think we got more airplanes than we got food for the homeless.
Something can happen. I mean, I don't know. War is unpredictable.
War is unpredictable.
So,
but we're not gonna go into a conventional style world war. We're not gonna do that. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna happen. We don't have that kind of world now. We're not getting in the front lines or ditches or no. We're not gonna assault over here and take this territory and stuff. We don't do that anymore. We respond. So a lot of our people that's training and stuff, they're never going to be engaged in war. And that brings my next thing up. Why are we putting the transgender issue back on? Just like, who does anybody really care out there? If you care, let me know.
I didn't hear anything about the
transgender.
The transgenders. What's going on with them?
They can join the military in January. What?
Oh yeah, yep. I knew about that.
But for what?
To fight. You just because you're transgender. I don't understand this, right? Let's say I'm a transgender and I'm joining the military. It's not like women wear different clothes than men do in the military, do they? They all wear the same gear and the same clothes and the same guns.
Women wear skirts.
They wear skirts in the military?
Yeah, and they wear a tighter fitting jacket and stuff like that. It's like, that's their dress, their Class A uniform. The fatigues are the same.
Mm-hmm.
The pants and a loose fitting shirt and pockets all over the place, but you can't use them. You only can use one pocket. That's all you're allowed to use. I don't know why they put all those pockets there.
I don't know.
But we don't really fight. We don't really use soldiers as a deterrent to anything. We're using air power. We're using drones. We're using smart bombs. We're using a whole lot of talk. We talk a great fight and stuff like that. We really don't send soldiers into harm's way to go out there and fight. We use special
soldiers in Iraq still.
We use special operations to go out there and fight. We got soldiers in Iraq as advisors. And what happened in Africa with the advisors? When they got ambushed.
Yep.
We got all upset in this country. How dare they get ambushed? Because that was where did the breakdown occur in the military to allow them to get ambushed? It's an ambush, people.
Right.
It's a surprise attack. It's something that's covert and not known. It's an ambush. And we're so naive about what war really is. First thing we're going to have an investigation of the military on how these people got ambushed.
Yep.
And why they got ambushed. Really?
Yep.
It's like, it's an ambush.
So, okay, so here's some of the stats.
I don't get it.
I might be reading this wrong. So, okay, as of June 29th, 2016, according to the U.S. Department of Defense casualty website, there were 4,424 total deaths. So I guess that meant from the time we went into Iraq under George Bush, which was about... No, like 2002 we went into Iraq.
90s we went into Iraq.
No, and since 2000 we went into Iraq after 9/11.
we went into Iraq after 9/11.
Yeah, that's 2001. So from about 15 years, 31,952 have been wounded.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's not too many soldiers if you think of the time, but
That's,
that's still some soldiers.
that's some soldiers and stuff, but it's like that we don't fight. Yeah, we like to posture a lot. We like to do all this talk and all this soldiering and all this stuff. But in actuality, we don't need a big old military at this moment.
Mm.
We don't need a standing military that's at full capacity and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
When we're not using it, we're not fighting. We do air power and air support. But there are people making huge money. Boeing, Lockheed Martin, all those kind of air transport people and stuff, they're making huge dollars on selling warplanes and all this. And not only are they selling them to Japan. They need to have increase their whole their air force and stuff like that. They ain't never going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
The French, we don't want the French to use it. Every time the French use it, we end up in a world war. So, but we're just selling it all over the place. We're it's like everybody's just preparing for an evil that's really not going to take place. Because
Right.
the first nuclear weapon that goes off, kiss your little hidey pots goodbye because the world's over.
Maybe I don't know. I hope I'd rather it be soldiers being used in a nuclear bomb going off anyway.
Yeah, you would think, because the nuclear bomb is not a deterrent; it's an end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all it could be.
The end. Yep.
Yeah, it's not a deterrent to anything.
All right. So switching gears a little bit here before we go to break. Remember the story of the Chicago teens who kidnapped and tortured that white man in Chicago?
Not really, no.
Okay, so there was a young student, a white student, and the five, I believe it was, five teenagers, and a couple were in their 20s.
Yeah.
Kidnapped them. They were beating them put it on Facebook Live, and they all got arrested.
Yeah.
A Chicago judge gives black teen, one of them, community service and no jail time for kidnapping and torturing the disabled white man.
Yeah, that was a crazy experience, because was he kidnapped or was he voluntarily went with these guys because they were his friends?
So what they think he might have went along with them because he thought something else was going to happen, but they tied him up and you put duct tape on his face. It became a kidnapping at the end of it.
Torture, yeah.
Yeah, so they tied him up, bound him, tortured him, peed on him, ripped some of his hair out. They really did do a number on him. And one of the kids only got community service. So let me explain my race. Let me explain there's racism in me. It is racism because a part of me is happy.
Really?
Yes, that the black teenager finally got leniency in court. Because if it was the other way around, probably would have gotten the same thing. Usually, 9 times out of 10, when a black person commits a crime, they will get punished to the full extent of the law.
Anybody who commits a crime should get punished to the full extent of the law.
Right.
That's a really...
Right.
That's a terrible crime that they committed. It's an animal, savage type of crime they committed. Community service for this getting time served isn't enough.
No, it isn't.
Not enough. He should be in jail. And then he gets stoned. Along with his other compadres.
Yep.
Stone them too. Yeah.
And they only get probation. Teen charged in beating a disabled man, broadcasting it live on Facebook, gets probation. A Chicago woman involved in the beating of a mentally disabled man that was broadcast on Facebook Live pled guilty Friday to a hate crime and was sentenced to 4 years probation. Brittany Covington, 19, entered her plea in a case that received national attention because it involved an 18-year-old disabled white man and 4 blacks who taunted him with profanities against white people and President Trump. Covington narrated the video and her 3 others torturing the man. So she was just one of the people that was just in the video talking. She didn't physically do anything to him. So that does not mean that the other people who were in the video are going to get such a lenient charge.
She shouldn't have got a lenient charge. I don't care if she did anything or not. It's like, please.
Yep.
You should be stoned. You know what I mean? Bunch of cowards out there. Why do people be so cowardly in this walk of life and then walk around with your big American flag shirts on and stuff like that about how great and wonderful you are, and then you got your on the back of your American flag shirt you got your I'm a Christian, I'm a good soldier of God shirt on and stuff like that. It's like, really, like, let me go find a retarded crippled person so I can torture them. Okay, yeah, you good. I want to be like you. No, I don't.
Yeah, it was a hate crime, man.
Yeah, that's a serious hate crime. And she should be punished at least for a hate crime. There's no place in this world for this type of behaviors, the hate crimes and stuff like that. That's what that first one we were talking about too, a hate crime.
Yep.
That bullying is a hate crime. All these things are a hate crime, and it's the hate that I think most of these people are having is towards themselves.
Yep.
But they can't say that, the shortcomings of my life are brought upon me by me. That's not. And that's what keeps racism going. It ain't my fault. It's all their fault. That's why I hate them, and that's why I have to do something about it, because they're stopping me from doing something. No,
yep.
They're not. You just can't even. You can't even say that you're the problem why you haven't been a success.
Right.
You didn't do anything.
Well, that 19-year-old girl who got probation was in jail since January when the video came out. So she's been in jail a little under a year.
Good.
And now she has 4 years probation, and she's not allowed to use social media for 4 years as well.
Oh, yeah. How do you monitor that?
I have no idea. In exchange for pleading guilty to committing a hate crime, aggravated battery, and intimidation, prosecutors dropped the kidnapping charge and others. The judge ordered Covington not to use social media for 4 years. She must also perform 200 hours of community service.
200 hours? That ain't enough.
Yep. A texter says, as always, criminals have rights. Probation, really? Has nothing to do with race. I see criminals from all races get rights over victims. It's really ridiculous. There's no mystery why the state of Illinois is the way it is.
No, there's no mystery. It's an inner city that doesn't have any place for people that's poor.
Another texter says, judge must be a Democrat. They protect blacks, illegals, criminal in America.
Who, the Democrat?
Yep. His name is Iowa Guy Blue 242. Thank you for the text.
All right, thank you for the text, but I don't think, why do we bring politics into this stuff like this?
Well,
must be a Democrat. The whole millennial generation is all Democrats and stuff, and the only thing they want to protect is the right so that they don't have to do anything.
Do you think that criminals have rights over victims?
No, but they do. And that's the way the Constitution's set up. You have a right to face your accuser.
Mm-hmm.
You have a right that you're innocent till proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest right there. You're innocent till proven guilty. So the meat of the whole proceeding isn't on you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do anything if you're the guilty person. The person charging has to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's who has to do all the work to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're guilty. Not that you're innocent, that you're guilty.
Another texter says, more of the legacy of Obama the spineless. Well, he didn't do anything about Chicago. Chicago has been a problem for a long time, and he never did anything about it.
Yeah, but he sees Chicago problem. Look at me defending him. He's really got his that's his home, really.
So he should have wanted to clean it up even more.
Yeah, but he may not see the ills that the media puts out there from Chicago. He may have got so callous and so used to the death and used to seeing those. That's the bad part of Chicago. I ain't going over there. He might have got like that, so he didn't do it. And he was president of the United States. You got to take care of the United States as the president, just like with Trump. He has to take care of the United States, and there's at least 4 different cultural zones in the United States, and with those cultural zones come economic zones and industrial zones and academic zones and scientific zones and just go over here and be as happy as you want to be zones, because you can get as high as you can.
Right.
There's all these different zones and living standards and styles in the United States that the president has to address.
Yep.
Now, I think on the local government is the government that needs to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
We need to revamp local government. We're just electing people back in the local government. Really ain't got no business being in local government.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in the local school system governments. Some of those people out there, I think they went to school with Caesar. Or at least Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, they all sat in 3rd grade together.
Yep. They should go to jail. They should have the case is lenient, but it's just, to me, as it's more rare when you see people of color get a lenient sentence than a white person.
Yeah, it's more rare because the news media jumps on these things and stuff like that. This country definitely, this ain't a white privilege, folks. Don't misconstrue it. This is a white country at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment. The Browns are coming up hard now. They're coming up hard. No matter how much you want to say it and stuff like that, they're not coming up hard. Middle Easterners are brown.
Yep.
The population of white is starting to become not the sought after population. Even when it comes to beauty in this country no more, it ain't the blonde, blue-eyed girl that's the beautiful one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the tan girl with the dark hair and the deep black eyes that's the beautiful one in this country. Now, that's the symbol. They still try to put that blonde, blue-eyed, just like they still try to put that other one in there before. But this whole nation has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Well, we'll see what happens with the story once we get any updates of the other 3, the remaining 3 that are due in court for it.
Get stoned, and just so that they really get stoned, put that guy up there first. Because I know he just say, I never sinned, but I'm lying right now.
Yeah, so I feel bad, but that's what we have, and that's our justice system and our Constitution. That's not perfect. It was made by man, and
yeah, I agree. It's definitely not perfect, but it is in effect.
Yeah,
it is something that's known by anybody, everybody, and it's based off the 10 Commandments. Basically, Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, and now thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. We got a whole bunch of that going on all over the place.
Really?
Yeah, people coveting all these sexual harassment things.
Oh, yeah.
And folks, if there's anybody, I ain't backing Donald Trump on this here, but I'm going to say the truth. Really, I seen you women. And I see the women that Donald Trump gravitates towards. I don't think so.
Well, he gravitated towards them 20 years ago. 20 years can do a lot to a person, true.
And 20 years ago, he was still going after the models and stuff.
Yep.
Just like in that movie. What's that movie? Pelham 1, 2, 3. He was going after the behind models. That's who he dates. Oh, what's your job? Well, I'm a behind model. Oh, okay. I ain't buying it with the daughter. I ain't buying it at all with the daughter. It's like, what? Come on. Not saying that he's not a human and might be tempted, by some of the wiles of the women and stuff like that, and that he's not stupid. I'm not saying that, but come on, he's just all his life he's dated high end models. It's like
maybe
you don't fit the bill.
They don't fit the bill in 2016, but maybe in 2001 or 1996, 1991, maybe they did fit the bill. Models don't look like models when they get older. You know, that's why the lifespan of a model is pretty short. Once you reach a certain age, you know, once you 35, 36, you're not, because that's considered old in the modeling world.
I guess so, but look at his wife. It's like, yeah, okay, let me see. I'll keep the wife.
We'll take a break. We'll be back on Tripping in the AM.